All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone. Shalom to the Akim and the few Akwath who may be listening. This is your brother Batakallah from the GMS camp here in Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. Today, we're just going to elaborate briefly on a situation that happened here in Chicago with one of the bros. Not going to get into too great a detail, but we got to be circumspect, with the people. Salakia, let me get this together real quick. With the people that we allow in our lives, in particular, these women that you may decide to allow in your life or not, man, because we got to understand that that is the number one weapon in Esau's tool belt or utility belt, whatever you want to call it, is these Jake women, man. Whether it be a Negro, Latino, Native American, shit, even these speckled birds, and really just any woman in general, because all these women subscribe to the same doctrine, that Esau has taught them. Now, of course, when you're dealing with a Jake woman, those curses are going to be, they're going to make it even more difficult. For the most part, of course, there's certain individuals that, have a Jake woman and she's in order. And, more power to you. That's a blessing from the Lord. Be thankful for that. All right. But for the most part, these Jake women and women in general are going to be very combative with a lot of Jakes, man. And engaging in combat with these women, whether it be verbal or, Lord forbid, physical, is going to result in you having to deal with Esau 9 times out of 10. All right. And, that's what we want to avoid. All right. But we're going to get some precepts and, Lord willing, this will be edifying. This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right. So, in particularly, this last part, and, just to be clear, the Lord, when he said this, he wasn't playing. And, that's why women deal with birth pains to this day. All right. And have to have, high level anesthetics in order to be able to give birth. A lot of times, a lot of these women are taking, I believe they call it an epidural, which is basically a spinal tap, where they tap your spine and inject anesthetic into your spine in order for you to, in order for the woman to be able to bear the pain of bringing a child into the world. Now, of course, that's not the pain is so great that doesn't stop you from feeling any pain. It just it reduces it. All right. But, the Lord wasn't playing about that, just like the Lord is not playing about nothing that he has to say. All right. Now, the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that this last part, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right. If a woman is not coming in that spirit, then that's not your woman, man. All right. I'm going to just be real with you. Okay. Now, of course, we when we're dealing with Jake women in particular, we want to do right by them as far as, the way the scriptures say to deal with them. Salakia. So, of course, I'm not encouraging bros to, just if you got a woman, to just put her away out of nowhere. If she's doing the things that she's supposed to do, that you require of her, if she's pleased to dwell with you and do the things that you ask her to do, then, you have to deal with her, man. If she's a Jake, that's just how I go. All right. But at the end of the day, a vast majority of these women, Jake or heathen, are not in this spirit of and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. They don't want that, man. Esau has taught them that they should be the ones that's in charge of the man. All right. And that's the spirit that most of them are coming in, man. And they always know that they can lean on Esau whenever they have a hard time bringing any of you Jakes to heel, man. Shit get too hot for them, they can just call Esau and he'll come in and he'll clean shit up for them and get you back in check. All right. And I'm going to say this, man. If you're dealing with a woman, and she even threatens to call Esau on you for anything, leave her immediately. As soon as she does that, that should be the last time that you even go around that woman, man. All right, because if a woman will get Esau involved in your situation, she'll get you killed. She'll do anything, because when Esau pulls up to the scene, anything is possible. You know, any manner of wickedness is liable to happen to you, man. So if she's willing to go to that far, that's not a woman you need to be around. You don't need to be interacting with her. You don't need to be speaking to her or anything of that nature. Whether she got your child or not. If she want to hold your child over your head, you just got to have faith that the Lord will have your child, and you got to move forward, man. Because ultimately, the only thing that's going to happen is what the Lord wants to happen. All right, so if your child is slated to receive salvation, there's nothing that woman can do to stop that from happening, all right? And vice versa. If your child is not slated to receive salvation, it's nothing that you can do that's going to stop that, all right? But, you know, these women, they get to threatening to call Esau, or they don't want to listen to what you're telling them to do. And it's constantly you pulling teeth with these women and going back and forth with them. Get away from them, man, because the more you get involved with these type of things, the less and less respect you command, and the more likely it is for something bad to happen to you. All right. And that's an obstacle that the Lord put in front of us, and we got to be able to navigate that. All right. Because we're in a different time right now. Salakia. We're in a different time right now. And, you know, we have to understand where we at. This is Jeremiah 31:22. And it says, "How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." All right. And this is a punishment unto us as Israelites, man, to have these women ruling over us. All right. The Lord has put the spirit on these Jake women in particular, you know, to deal with Jake's the way that Jake's treated the Lord. All right. As a whole, we didn't have respect for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in the past. And the way that these women act is a reflection of that. All right. Because the same thing that the woman is unto us as the man is what Yahweh Shai is unto us, as, you know, we are unto Yahweh Shai what the woman is unto us, and Yahweh Shai is unto the Lord what the Lord, or what we are unto Yahweh Shai. It's an order. All right. And we're going to get that real quick. All right. I think it's in 1 Corinthians 11. All right. So this 1 Corinthians 11:3. "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh." All right. So it's an order set up for us to follow. All right. We got out of that order. Because we got out of that order, the Lord put the spirit on the woman to get out of that order on us. All right. Because it's like in that movie Paid in Full, you know, when they was all sitting upstairs and they was eating the Chinese food. And, you know, just for a side note, brothers, if you're eating Chinese food from the carryout, stop doing that, man. Them gooks is poisoning you. Stay away from that, man. Cook your own food. All right. But they was eating the carryout, and they was doing a little paper bag gambling shit. And Mitch didn't want to pay Rico right there because he didn't have the cash on him, or whatever excuse that he gave him. And what did Rico tell him? Well, since you ain't got that, you don't get nothing. You can't have no fried rice. You can't have no barbecue spare rib. You can't have no soy sauce. You can't have nothing until I get my money. And he took the food away from him until Ace gave him the money to give to Rico, and then Rico gave him his food back. And that's the same spirit that the Lord, you know, the Lord is in that spirit. It's not the same spirit, because Rico was a punk. And Alpo, whatever the nigga's name is in real life, fuck him. All right, he a dude that, you know, victimized his own people, and you know, was just an honorless individual. So I'm not saying that the Lord is like that, but I'm saying is the sentiment is the same. You don't want to give the Lord what he wants, then he'll just take everything away, and you won't have nothing, you know. And that's how it is, man. You know, the Lord is supposed to get what he's the Lord and Yahweh Shai are supposed to get they due first from us. And then all of those other things will come to you. All right. But just that was just a sidebar real quick, just to back the point up, pause. But we're gonna get to the next precept, all right, because you know, we went off and it's punishments for going off, and as we're gonna see here, you know, this is one of those punishments, is having to deal with these women that are gonna come against us and side with Esau, because that's essentially that's what we did to the Lord. We came against the Lord and chose idols, and it's the same thing. All right. But what verse is that? It's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. All right. And if you look at these Jake women now, in particular these blacks, all right, it was a point in time where the Jake woman was on such a level that, like it says here, they not even setting their feet on the ground, man, because they so delicate and so tender. You know, they had that type of class. They carried themselves in that type of fashion to where they was just on point. All right. And I'm talking about with behavior first, you know. But now, you know, because we decided that we wanted to lower ourselves into idolatry and into all of the other folly that comes with it, the Lord has taken the woman and has dropped her down to our level. And now the woman is acting just like how we was acting. All right. Now, the blessing of it is that when you in this truth, you understand why things are happening the way they are. You understand what's going to happen a lot of times because you understand, you know, the curses that we under. You understand the word. You understand the scriptures. So you have a higher level of understanding about what's going on in this world. Okay. These niggas that's in the world that don't care about the Lord, that the Lord didn't wake up, that's just niggas. It's like a crapshoot with them, or it's like Russian roulette with them. They just gonna keep spinning until they crap out and they lose, man. All right, but the Lord has given us the knowledge and the ability to avoid a lot of these things and these pitfalls that come with dealing with these raggedy ass chicks, man. All right, and I'm not saying to tell you to just not deal with no women, period, you know, because that's not on everybody's spirit and that's not how everybody operates. If that's something you can do, then, you know, if you want to do it, do it. You know, as for me, you know, it's just shit. If the Lord going throw me a blessing, I'm going to receive that blessing, you know. But I'm also understanding that, you know, a vast majority of these chicks are not to be a blessing to you. All right. They not cultivated to be like that. They cultivated to be a detriment. OK. And, you know, you have to understand who to give access to your life and who not to give access to your life. Jake shouldn't be dealing, like I said earlier, with no woman that'll call Esau on them, period. Really, Jake shouldn't be dealing with a woman that don't want to listen to him. You know, you have to start carrying yourself with a ruling class mentality, man. If a woman don't want to listen to what you're saying, it's not your job to make a deal with her and meet in the middle. You're supposed to be the one in charge, man. If she don't want to deal with you, then that's fine. There are other women, and the Lord willing, the Lord will bless you with one that's going to do what you want to do. All right. But we got to stop allowing our lust and our need to want to always, you know, have a woman to lay down with to supersede our wisdom, man, and to put us in positions where, yeah, this bitch done called the law on me before, but, you know, I've been on a drought, and I know if I call her, she'll come over here and she'll do her thing. So, fuck it, I'm gonna just call her and have her come over here. Okay, and it's a lot of niggas that thought like that, and then they ended up catching 20 years because that bitch didn't come over to the house to do what you wanted to do. She came over to the house to start some shit and then call Esau. All right, but all of that can be avoided when you don't allow women to even get past, till you cut it off at the pass. As soon as you see something like that happening, get rid of the bitch, man. Seriously. Because you're going to end up having to deal with Esau for your lack of wisdom. And, you know, whatever the Lord puts you through because you didn't want to, you know, be wise in who you was dealing with, you're going to have to deal with that, man. And really, a lot of times, you know, you will be lucky if Esau even get involved, because a lot of these chicks will just have some nigga pull up to your house while you with them and fucking kill you, man. That shit happens every day. All right? And we got to get past that. We got to stop dealing with people that's below our level, especially when you're talking about a woman. All right? You shouldn't be dealing with no ghetto, raggedy ass chicks, man. All right? And I'm talking about behavior. If you like dealing with black women or Latin women or white women, whatever, it don't matter. How does she act? What is her behavior like? You know? Because that ghetto behavior is going to get you fucked up out here, man. Dealing with chicks that's like that. Period. This Psalms 21. And Salakia, I suppose it's Proverbs, not Psalms. That's my bad. It's Proverbs 21 and 9. And it says, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. All right? When you're dealing with women that, let me get the word for brawling, matter of fact. Because a lot of jakes, they might not use this type of vernacular. This is the word, this is the definition for brawling. It says strife, contention. All right? So when you're dealing with a woman that's always, why I got to do this, why I got to be like that, instead of just complying and doing what you tell them to do every time you want them to do something, it's an argument, it's a debate. That's just going to end up in all type of negative things happening, man. And you don't want to it's better to be alone and not have nothing than to deal with that, man. And that's what the scriptures say. All right. So, you know, just take heed on that, man. And you know, get control of yourself, man. All right. Don't let something detrimental happen to you for you to have to learn this lesson. All right. Because it's jakes that's in the joint because they dealt with the wrong woman and underestimated what the woman was capable of. It's jakes that have gotten put to death out here because they dealing with women and they underestimate them, man. All right. And the bitch, she had him, man. And Jake ended up getting got. And it's happening everywhere, every day. All right. But the Lord has blessed us with the opportunity to raise above that and to cut that obstacle out of our life. We dealing with so much, man. You don't need to be adding and heaping more troubles onto you than you already have to deal with just off being a Israelite and being in his truth. All right. But with that being said, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone. Shalom to all the Akim and a few Akwat who may be listening. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Kwam Yasharala and Abab.